it just me, or?
I felt it too.
What is this?
It looks like a butchered version of the ritual of Lesser Palingenesis.
The ritual of... that ritual? The one... that brings someone back? That ritual?
Yes, that ritual.
Now the past is mine to see.
As flesh unto verb, as verb unto heart, as heart unto flesh. Death's knot is unsevered, and I shall cut it.
Caleb Watson invoked a ghost without a body for it to inhabit, so it took his. Caleb is no longer Caleb. He used pieces of his wife and also of his brother.
Ruth, Alexander, Caleb, could be any combination of them in there.
Let's go find out which.
Well, you bastard!
You shouldn't stay in there.
That ritual, I'm not... I suspect it's beyond me.
It's not, but we agreed he won't need it. Besides, Caleb's work was poor. Your work is good.
A ritual like that. Good is not a word that comes to mind.
Good day to you, sir.
Likewise. Red McCreath. You?
Алмазик,
Very confident
привет,
for you,
привет.
Baker. What are you doing out here in the rustics?
I'm a banisher. I'm looking for ghosts.
Find no ghosts here, sir, nor demons. The governor, in his piety, sees to that.
I envy your faith, Mr. Cotto.
How's that working out so far?
A man can do any number of things with his life. What drew you to baking?
Oh, any of a dozen reasons. I'll not bore you with all 13. That's also how old I was when my parents died. I needed work. The baker needed a boy. He was a hard man. His wife was a pure-hearted woman. Taught me well. 'Tis hard work, but I love it. I love it, dear.
What brought you to New Eden? Were they short a baker?
Elsewhere, folks backslide. Here, we know the value of our daily bread, of God's own bounty. Here, the baker is near in position to a minister.
I should go.
And I must work.
Да ну пойдет. Такое 50 на 50. У тебя как делишки? Андрюш, привет, привет. Спасибо большое, спасибо. Тебе тоже там, я не знаю, хорошие игры, если будешь брать. Спасибо, что забежал.
Hush now. All is well. Nothing bad will ever come to us again. Shite off.
We've been to God's Acre. Quite a tale it told us. You're not Caleb, are you? Or at least not entirely.
Ah, can't fog you. Alexander Watson. Long tale short, Caleb tried to bring his dead wife back. And I live here now.
So many questions. Where to even start?
He was trying to bring his wife back. How did you end up in the mix?
Caleb made a fine cobbler, a poor brother, a worse husband, and a truly terrible witch. The ritual went to shite, because... of course it did.
Do both of you share Caleb's body?
Share? No. This house of flesh is mine. But because I am a generous man, I allow my brother to live in the cellar. We were twins. I was the rotten half, they said. But who's the rotten half now? There's something else you should know, if you don't know it already. I'm not alone. I completed the ritual. My darling Ruth is in here too.
You used the ritual to bring Ruth's spirit into Caleb's body. Why?
Love moves a soul to strange endeavors. We deserve a better life. I set myself to claiming it.
I understand your anger, more so your desire. But what of Ruth's? Did you consider what she wanted?
Caleb stole a life from me, but he also stole Ruth's voice. She shrank beneath him. Of course she wanted a second chance at life.
I'd like to hear this from Ruth. May I please speak with her?
No! We've carved ourselves out a little happiness at last. I'll not have you break it. Please, leave us alone. Give us this.
We need to speak to her, one way or another. If he won't tell us anything, perhaps the house Ruth died in will.
You died trying to save Ruth from a burning house. True.
True.
And where was Caleb while all this was happening?
He was there. He stood rooted in place, frozen in fear. And then it was too late. He could do nothing but watch us burn. Caleb's name was ruined then. We're just putting the boot in.
Caleb was no saint, but this is hellish grim. Does he deserve it?
Aye, he does. And it's not like I killed him. He's alive in here somewhere. Watching me ruin his name. He can hear me now. Destroying his reputation. As I had to hear him destroy mine when he painted me a fornicator.
How nice.
He took our love, Ruth and mine, and killed it. Now our love's reborn, and he can do naught but sit and watch. Caleb was a cad. Shite on him. Let him suffer.
You're well placed to see what goes on around here. Help me out. Have you seen anything noteworthy?
I've made a point of keeping people away, but aye, I see things. And I take note.
What's your take on the governor?
My brother gave him the Glad Hand Act, and the governor lapped it up. Haskell's opinion of himself is far too high. To win his favour, you need only prop him up. He dragged my name through the dirt. Shite on him, and his so-called eloquence. What use is a silver tongue when your heart is yellow?
Lammy Haskell. Any thoughts about him?
The Haskell boy? What about him? He's weird. Talked with Caleb about nonsense. Both of them were full of shite.
Tell me about folk here. Who stands out for you? What think you of them?
What think I of they who shunned me? Gulled by my black-mouthed brother? What think I of malicious fools for whom I had to die to be redeemed? I'd say a curse upon them. But 'tis too late. The curse has already come.
How goes the settlement, would you say?
It's going to hell in a shitting handcart. Not that I care, mind. But there's sport in guessing who shall live and who shall die. Hope they find that witch, though. Can't have witches about the place doing the devil's work.
I'll be leaving you alone for now.
Alone? Not really. Hush now. All is well. Nothing bad will ever come to us again. Hush now. All is well. Nothing bad will ever
Ruth
come
and
to us again.
Alexander are having an affair in her husband's body.
I'll not judge, no matter how much I want to.
Something feels wrong. Something about Ruth. If we find the ghost tie, we can talk to her. Beware. Wards. The ghost wards feel far away from here. Just one keeps me from manifesting. Fancy knocking it down? I'm with you once more. Let me clear a path for you.
The house that burned down. The roof fell in with them inside.
There's a lot of debris.
Ty must be nearby. This work shows real sensitivity. Caleb?
Maybe. Not Alexander. I suspect we've just learnt a little about Ruth.
Something's here.
Hidden.
Did you feel that?
It's close. Of course. Ruth's heart binds them. Like a bushel of rotting corn.
You! What do you have there? Stop right there, you rank rump! Whatever you found, it ain't yours!
You buried Ruth's heart in the ashes of the house that killed her. I find that odd.
You, a ghost, went digging in the ashes of a dead woman's house. You're ill-positioned to call me odd. Don't think I haven't felt your presence before.
Stow your tongue while I speak with Ruth. Ruth, can you hear me? Can you speak?
Puck off and die! I'm in charge here.
No. Hush ye, Alexander. I'll speak. I'm Ruth. I hear you.
I'm Antea Duarte. We're here to help.
Oh, I'm glad. Please, end this nightmare. Help me.
Go to hell in a bag of shite. We're fine, and you have not the right, you hear? You've not the right. Her heart! Give it back!
Show yourself and join me now.
No more does he silence me. We may speak. Help me, please.
Caleb's letter changed your life. How did it feel at the time?
It tore me in two. I loved Alexander, but I deserved to marry a man who would be true. Caleb seemed decent. I believed he loved me. I thought I married the better brother, but I'd married a liar. A liar and a devil. And yet, not even he deserves this. No one deserves this.
How did Caleb treat you?
With adoration. I was an idol, worshipped, yet unloved. He was the sculptor and I was the statue, smiling down, unmoving from my pedestal with nothing to say. Now I'm sewn into a festering sack with the quivering remnants of my husband and the angry ghost of his dead brother. Please, let me out.
Who taught Caleb the resurrection ritual?
To say it was taught would mean he'd learned it. He read it off a page. As a sorcerer, Caleb makes a fine cobbler. The thing about Caleb, he was a good listener. As he worked, clients would bend his ear. The Haskell boy, for one. As Caleb pinned the governor's shoes, young Lammy would talk magic. Nonsense, really. But Caleb was listening.
Wait, Lammy Haskell gave Caleb the resurrection ritual.
After Lammy mentioned the ritual, Caleb became obsessed with it. He begged. Lammy, in his misplaced generosity, gave it. Caleb was intent on dark work. Lammy furnished written instructions.
Ruth, your husband Caleb's botched resurrection ritual brought you back, but allowed his brother Alexander to take you hostage.
Once we deal with the Watson brothers, you shall be free to ascend.
Do what you must. I'll suffer it if it leaves me free to go.
No! We can stay. Please, Ruth, let us stay.
Look at you. You're counterfeit, a sham of a thing. Your so-called life is no life at all. Caleb lied and stole your love. But when the time was right, you lied and stole his body. We're ending this nonsense now. Alexander, yours is no romantic fable. There is no moral to this tale. You're a hostage taker, nothing more.
No, Caleb can go to hell, for he well deserves it. But Ruth and I are in love.
Greedy men fight over a woman as if she were a thing. I'm done with that old story. Time to tell a better tale.
Ruth is free to go.
I shall have my rest now. Thank you.
I banish you.
Are they gone?
Am I speaking with the cobbler, Caleb Watson? That you, Caleb?
I think... yes, that's me. Or it was me, once. For my bastard brother was my hollow keeper.
You're not entirely innocent, though. If you'll permit the unfortunate expression, there was more than one of you in it.
My brother deserved damnation, and you gave it to him. I am an imperfect man, but if you're considering the same for me, I'll not go without a fight.
I too am an imperfect man. I have mercy and patience in limited supply. Let's not test those limits further, eh?
Alexander loved Ruth like a man loves his hat. Love a woman like a thing, and you do not love her at all.
Ruth deserved better, in life and in death. That was something.
Don't take it to heart. Their choices are not your business.
Our choices are my business. And their consequences too.
Don't waver. We could win a battle, but we can't win the war. Nobody should conquer death. And we don't want to pay the price of trying.
Aye. I hear you.
Good. Now, let's see what Lammy Haskell has to say about raising spirits from the dead.
Governor.
May I help you, Mr. McCraith?
I have to admit, this is an unusual case.
Yes, but have you solved it?
I believe so. But The culprit was not responsible for the plague. At least not directly.
Have you found the witch or have you not?
Someone here has been dabbling in some dark magic. I have the name.
So, what are you waiting for?
Don't you want to hear the name?
I do not need to. The principle is what matters.
Not exactly. The name is Lamentation Haskell.
No, it can't be. My son is studious. Curious, too curious at times perhaps, but he does not have a bad bone in his heart.
He showed Caleb Watson a ritual. The cobbler used it and became possessed.
Even if true, it would only mean my son was exposed to corruption. It happened before. Bring me proof, Banisher. Find the real source of evil.
I'll get it. Mark me. I noted your ghost wards with some interest.
Ghost wards, an interesting name. I call them sanctifiers, a name more palatable to my flock.
This requires a great deal of occult knowledge. Where did you learn your craft?
Etienne Roulet, one of the greatest demonologists of our time, is a good friend of mine. I improved upon his work.
Why did you not use them in New Eden when the curse began?
It was more complicated to convince the whole congregation of the necessity to use magic. Here, people have more trust in my unmovable probity.
A man in your position must know what goes on in his own community.
Why, of course I know all that there is to know. Or near enough. Ask your questions, sir. Ask away.
How did you, a man of position and faith, become a demonologist?
Ah, yes. If you'll indulge me for a moment, I shall explain, in the briefest manner possible. Though blessed with intellect and no little faith, I also had privilege. I had the means for an education, time and place with which to study. For a time, my father was a pupil of Henry Boggart, the great demonologist. He had the books, I had the aptitude. When he passed, I donned his mantle. My father taught me about duty. I have gifts, faith, intellect, position. I must protect them. I must use them to protect my people. This is my duty. This is my burden.
Your son, how would you describe him?
Lamentation? How would I describe him? Well, he's curious. Inquisitive, I mean, as opposed to peculiar. Although he has his moments there, too. I tried to teach him demonology, to make him the third generation of witch hunters. But he revealed no disposition. Occult knowledge could only obfuscate his good nature. At heart, he is a naive boy who reads a lot and doesn't say much.
How goes the colony?
Sir, the body politic bears a heavy weight. Not content with weakening their flesh, the devil's evil attacks the people's hearts and minds. Until you expose the culprit, the harmony of this divinely beautiful commonwealth shall remain marred by suspicion and mistrust. Long story shortened, people are not getting along.
I must find your son, Governor. Sooner rather than later.
His interests take him hither and thither. If he isn't here, he must be working on the outskirts. He's been sprucing up one of the abandoned houses there. I ordered them emptied when the sickness hit. Here, take the gate key. Go there. See for yourself. You're wrong about him. You're wrong about my son. Needless to say that I count, of course, on your discretion.
He was quick to condemn till it was his own son on the block. Who's he really protecting?
We'll bring him the proof he wants. If the boy is guilty, his father may not be able to protect him.
Фокс, привет, привет.
Hell's balls! What happened here?
Something's emanating from under there.
No wonder this place is off limits.
Dodge it if you can.
They brought more friends.
Don't just stand there. Move!
One of these must be Lammy's hideaway. Hi, mate. You here? You were studying botany. Why botany? The incisions are clean. The precision of an expert.
There's magic here, though faint.
Arrowloo. Mean anything to you?
Not a thing.
You mentioned an old mill. Seemed fascinated by the place. Nothing incriminating. Yet.
Remember what we found at Caleb Watson's? Maybe we're not looking in the right place. If I had something to hide, I might hide it in an abandoned mill. Creeping ivy.
I always hated these sap-thirsty spectres.
Wards. I'm going to need a hand here. A ward restrains me. I can't help you. I don't think so.
Толя, привет.
They never learn, do they?
He likes us much.
This isn't over yet. Possession incoming.
Sit down.
Run, Red!
Why a mill?
Away from the village. Perfect for his research. Perfect to hide secrets.
He's not out here for pleasure, that's for sure. Peaceful. Like home on a good day. No, it's hilly, mind. He felt like playing with the lambs. Blair preferred to feed them. And I was too busy dreaming.
And you?
Oh, I cooked them for dinner. The lambs, I mean. Oh, the girls were furious.
Yes, but they weren't hungry. The right words of power may force the nearby specters to show themselves.
Reveal your true self.
Think you could take on a ghost?
Die, you bastard!
Move it! They never learn, do they? Get the hell out of there!
I feel like a bloody target practice.
Did we miss a few?
Brought more friends.
I think I heard the sound of a gun cocking. Look to me.
Блин, я не могу уйти отсюда. Они как будто бесконечные какие-то.
Is that the sound of a corpse cocking its gun?
I have another in sight.
Think I'm under threat.
You're in its sights, bro. I think I heard the sound of a gun.
That corpse is taking aim.
There's a tough one.
Is that the sound of a corpse cocking its gun?
You're in its sights, Greg.
He shines stopped up.
That corpse is gonna shoot.
What kind of corpse is this after? Is that the sound of a corpse cocking its gun? Away with you!
Ask for help if you need it.
That corpse is taking aim.
Standing by.
I'm a bit of
Наконец-то, блин. Я думала, это будет вечно продолжаться.
Watch out. Spectre possession. I have another in sight.
A wee Highland kiss for you. Piss off! What should we expect up there?
A gateway to the mythical Aralu, whatever that is. Otherwise, terrible tragedy, dark doings, sick secrets, and a wild guess. Missed me?
Always. See that corpse? I could use a ritual.
Spirit and flesh, I summon you! There's more of them.
This isn't over yet. Watch out. Spectre possession. They're feeding off their own rage. Run, Red!
I used to count my wolves on one hand.
specters looking for a body.
Try this on for size. There's more of them.
Watch out. We made it angry.
Looks derelict. Is he really inside?
I can't, Rory.
I need to stop at some point. Here would be all right. Something's here.
Hidden. Take care. The place is warded. Much better.
Still impressive. Oh, there! Guess we're not going that way.
There should be a way up here. What hides here in the dark? Come out, come out.
Looks like Lammy was trying to translate some sort of ritual.
Not any ritual. This is the Lesser Palingenesis.
I guess no one warned Lammy that grimy reincarnation rituals were not without risk. This relay lad seems dangerous.
His apprentice seems to be following him down the same path.
So, what are you hiding in here, evil spawn?
Glancing at the original writing, Lammy's work was poor. No wonder the ritual he spawned for Caleb from those botched words of power went wrong.
He doesn't speak well of his dad.
Did he seek power? Was he hoping to... step out of his father's shadow?
If he did, he went the wrong way about it. We need to get to the top floor. Bet we'll find something.
More ghost wards. Someone was being extra careful. Red, come look. Why did he feel like he needed so much protection? More magic mockery. He wished to disguise his presence, or perhaps to distract from it.
It's just a lift. Why is this mechanism so complex? That book, again.
The Agrippa. That's not good. Not good at all.
What level of not good are we talking about exactly?
This book promises eternal life, but the promise is a trap. Let's hope it hasn't been used.
Should be useful. The lift should work now.
Чё-то я ни хера не понимаю, что сделать-то надо.
this is more serious than we thought. I'm apprehensive.
Было так просто, а я запуталась.
We'll be careful. We don't know what Nami was
Бывает.
up to, and the signs are not encouraging.
You know, I could get to like it underground. The darkness, the gloom, the cool air.
Really?
No, not really. Not at all. Yeah. Creeping ivy again.
As invasive as regular weeds.
Hell's bombs. Another sorrow used as a guardian.
A wee Highland kiss for you. Vapor's just getting stronger.
Get to the pillars first. Dodge!
Right, this arm sounds.
Trouble's about. To me. Move it, Red. Look through my eyes.
Have to do this myself.
Dodge!
Have some of this.
Incoming.
You're done.
That was filthy. When all this is over, I might retire.
You'd miss it. You know you would. Red, come look. Dead animals, again. Different symbols and magic. Seems they were used as bait. Is this how we got through the Sorrow's vigilance?
So, here we are.
I suppose now we step into the void.
Suppose we do. Dark rituals, void breach, general weirdness. Lammy can't be far.
wards. Think you can fend for yourself?
The wards worked well enough. You didn't need to kill so many bots.
Demonologists use necromancy. Maybe he thought he'd bring them back when he was done.
It's awfully calm. Why is it awfully calm? No more wards.
Thank you. Spectres. They haven't noticed us. Stay low.
Away with you!
An Ariadne's thread leading through the void. Very useful indeed.
Very useful right until it falls apart. Then you're stuffed like force meat in a turkey.
Get lost, would you?
Careful now.
An Ariadne's thread leading through the void. Very useful indeed.
Very useful right until it falls apart. Then you're stuffed like force meat in a turkey.
creepy hideout. The governor's spawn likes a bit of drama.
This is some dark, sideways magic.
It's forbidden. I've read it.
Sometimes I worry about you. Ugh. What is this thing?
Banisher rule number 4.
If it oozes, don't touch it. Another botched experiment?
It may be native to the void.
I feel like we're not done here.
You need to see this.
What is this thing?
Banisher rule number 4.
If it oozes, don't touch it. Another botched experiment?
It may be native to the void.
I should give this place a proper sweep. This one's different. Looks like it died diseased.
So, you can see me. Aren't you full of surprises, young Master Haskell?
You may talk. A Banisher ghost. Amazing. How on God's earth did you find me? Never mind that. Thank the Lord you did. Thought I was going to grow old in here.
As hiding places go, the void is quite the choice.
Yes, an amazing place. Or plane? World? The Araloo is not easily described, but it makes a fascinating study. Tell me, how did you get past the Guardian beneath the mill? Did you use a decoy?
We fought it. Don't change the subject.
You fought it? Of course you did. A good thing too. I was starting to think it was wise to me tricks. Oh, but I have so many questions.
This isn't a social call, kid. And we're the ones with the questions.
Oh. Oh. Of course.
From the looks of this place, you're knee-deep in research. What are you doing here exactly?
Searching for the origin of the Harrow's Plague, of course. And I have a theory on the subject.
Of course you do. Go on then.
Now at first I believed the water poisoned, but my father sealed the well, and yet folk remain sick.
Блин, этот Лэми чем-то мне на Гарри Поттера похож в старости.
Some truth concealed behind it. You see, the Araloo taints New Eden. Its influence leaches into the Harrows. The evidence is everywhere.
Can you prove that? Where's your evidence?
In New Eden, the threshold between our plane and this is thin. Even I, a novice, may reach the frontier and then go beyond. I also believe it happened before. Some years ago, New Eden was hit by another epidemic.
Was it the same illness?
I believe that first epidemic was caused by the porosity of the frontier between New Eden and the Araloo. Although, where theirs was an affliction of burning flesh, ours is a corruption of mind and spirit. And I believe I have found its source. There is a substance, a strange ooze. You may have noticed it. This, I believe, is the true source of the Harrow's poison. It carries a particular stink, on the scent of which I experience first confusion, then a loss of control over my limbs.
Confusion, paralysis. Can you tell me more?
I felt my movement slowing, my thinking too. Space seemed to thicken. But wait, what if it was not space thickening, but time slowing? In recent months, many in New Eden have spoken of similar feelings, of lost time, hours untrackable, days passing unremembered. Who knows how the Araloo disturbs the minds and bodies of women and men? Unfortunately, I cannot reach the source. The Araloo is a formidable place. Tricky. A maze constantly evolving, changing, reshaping itself. The isthmus, for example. I found an oozing crack in the ground. The terrain then remade itself, and I can get to it no longer.
Perhaps we might be able to find a way through and take a look at that source.
Would you? That would be splendid. Would you mind taking notes?
You see ghosts. You stroll the void as if it were your garden. You possess and share forbidden rituals. Who are you really?
I'm Lammy Haskell, and I am a man of many sciences. I am in fact a true pursuer.
That raises more questions than it answers.
What are the pillars of the universe? Which principles underpin existence? As occultists, do we change the world or scratch upon its surface? Each discipline I embrace peels back a new layer of reality. I'm yet at the beginning and see where I already stand. Amazing, no?
Are you a demonologist like your father?
More or less. Less, more so. My father sees occultism through the eyeglass of his faith, but I know better. So, more so?
If you don't share your father's faith, what do you believe?
I believe in the afterlife. The proof is about us. And if the void embodies eternal despair, there must too be a place of hope. But where? I ask myself, where?
Your father is convinced a witch poisoned his well. Caleb Watson was cursed by a ritual you gave him. I'd focus if I were you.
We must counter the devil with knowledge of his tricks. That, my father always said, is the purest of God's work.
Aye. I can imagine your father saying that.
When I was 10, he gave me my initiation. Demonology, sir, as he would say. He saw me as his heir. Then, of a sudden, the books were forbidden. So I stole them. The very same books he'd forced upon me as a boy. I understand them where he does not. I did no wrong, apart from a little theft.
We must talk of Caleb Watson. Why in the hell would you give him a resurrection ritual?
Ruth's death hit poor Caleb hard. He was alone, and so I would often stop by his workshop. We talked. He took a keen interest in my studies and was a good listener. When he learned that she could possibly return, he had one question. How?
You saw his grief as an opportunity to test the effects of the lesser palingenesis.
Oh, you know the ritual too? Amazing, isn't it?
I've studied it. The actual ritual, not the mangled version you gave Caleb.
Yes, and I'm sorry. I found it in a copy of De Occulti Philosophia by Cornelius Agrippa von Nettesheim. A remarkable book.
I've met my fair share of illustrious occultists, and none owned an authentic Agrippa. Much is lost in translation or altered in the printing. I doubt your copy is an exception.
Of course! The power is in the words, and mine were wrong, so the power went awry. How very fascinating.
Are you aware of what would happen if people learnt of your studies?
Surely the acquisition of knowledge cannot be a sin.
Do you remember Deborah?
Miss Comenius. Yes, of course, I remember.
Your father tasked us with an investigation. One way or the other, we must return with the mystery solved.
Ah. I think I understand what you're saying. I might be in a tiny little bit of, danger.
You've studied demonology. Did you do it alone?
When my father forbade me to continue, I confess I disobeyed him in secret. Those big books were very boring until they were forbidden. Suddenly I could not get enough of their secret knowledge. Funny, eh? More recently, a good friend of my father showed me that I had only been scratching at the surface.
Who was your father's friend?
An itinerant Frenchman who often visited New Eden in recent years. He called himself a true pursuer. As a thinker, he was prolific and profound. My father was so proud to be included in his discourse. For him, knowledge is the ladder to greatness, and greatness is the prize. To me, knowledge is itself the prize.
Let's go take a closer look at that ooze then.
And with that sorrow gone, I can leave. Do be careful. My home is your home. If you need anything, help yourself.
The Aralu is not your home, Lammy. But thank you.
Pardon my morbid enthusiasm, Mistress Duarte, but could I ask you a few questions?
What do you wish to know?
Do you still need to eat? Do you feel hunger? Sorry, it's just you're the first go.
Antea, we should get going. So, the pious governor's unassuming son is our evil Harrow's witch.
I was as earnest as he. Ah, the rank enthusiasm of youth. It's sickening, really. I don't know if the paralysis and confusion applies to me, but I feel strange, and I suspect the ooze.
Only one way to find out.
Oh, God. I need a wee bit of help here.
Well, that was not pleasant. Well, not pleasant at all.
Take care. The place is warded. I can't help you. Much better.
More fun. Your legs are smashed.
Oozes through the breach, suppurates like a festering wound.
How delightful.
Let's see what lies on the other side. Where are we now?
Underground, looks like.
Wonderful.
The ooze affects the incarnate, too. Who goes there?
Is that a ghost?
I don't know. But I don't think we're alone. What might you be then?
What was...
Innocence.
Oh, shite.
Did you just say shite? You? Bigger than I thought it'd be.
Is that a house from the Harrows?
We may be below the well.
No wonder they all got sick.
Коля, приветик.
I feel something close.
Ромка, приветик.
This house belonged to a certain Antipas and Clemency Gibbs.
Look up. The ooze, oozed through the very stone.
Mr. and Mrs. Gibbs, have you read my paper?
I read it, aye. And then I washed my hands and prayed for grace. You claim to prove that there is no curse. Well...
A witch would say that, wouldn't she?
Wherever people gather to live, disease takes hold, and I believe... What are you doing?
Your evil lies shall be destroyed. We know who you are, and you shall be judged. Witch!
They were determined to do for her. She built a case for her rationality, and they tore it apart.
The Gibbs' land was barren. They were struggling for money. Something's concealed.
I know.
That corpse is gonna shoot.
Bastard.
And of all of them, just this one house fell down.
Maybe it was personal.
Was the Gibbs' house targeted by the ooze?
Obviously. Look around you.
Piss off!
Trouble's about.
Mrs. Gibbs, I presume.
Another shadow.
What do they want? Red, something is keeping me from manifesting.
In here? Ah, shite.
I can't, Rory. I am warded. I cannot.
I see a ghost ward. What are they doing down here?
Possession incoming. not hard enough.
Much better.
I can't, Rory. A ward restrains me.
Better.
You're welcome.
Now let's inspect the body.
Easy as pie.
Nah, but you can't cook.
Think you can take on a ghost? Throwing a tantrum.
Someone didn't want to stay dead.
Clemency Gibbs blamed the epidemic on a witch. Come from New Eden town with the governor.
That's not what the woman they accused was saying.
Well, the Gibbs were not at home to rational explanations. Well,
The greedy shall fall, and their certitudes be swamped when the final judgment comes.
The spot can't be far.
see anything?
Either the water table is full of ooze, or there's another source.
Let's search upstream.
Over there.
Elusive little buggers.
Don't step in that. I mean it.
I'll find a way around then.
Wards, you're on your own.
Those echoes we're hearing, or the shadows speaking?
They always appear near the ooze.
So do the whispers.
But which came first? Red, come see this. I don't think so. I'm at your side again.
Made you angry.
The whispers say the same things over and over.
What kind of entity would be so obsessed?
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
To deliver you from the way of evil, your captives are unleashed upon you.
This isn't over yet.
This looks perfectly drinkable.
Famous last words.
Why hasn't the poison spread to the groundwater?
Perhaps it shifts and shapes, like the void. Well, at the very least, it shifts. Looks like the ooze comes from a distinct source. Remember the wicked will I felt earlier? The same spell is upon this.
We should find that ritual Seeker told us about. I've kept her notes about the hut location.
This whole country is rotten to the core.
And you're just now reaching this conclusion?
If I wanted your opinion, I'd give it to you.
Perhaps if you gave me the space to have one, then we'd both be better off. Someone came through here, someone real, not just a shadow. Whoever it was, looks like the ooze got him. What do you think, Antea?
You wanted the space to have your own opinion. I'm giving it to you.
This must be Antipas Gibbs. Hell of a fall to live through. Join in any time, Antea.
What do you think I'm doing?
This is God's land. How could we let a witch come to our community? instructing our children, no less.
'Tis no surprise. New Eden brims over with backsliders. The governor, chief amongst them.
Aye, many had to sicken and die for him to act. But the deed is not yet done.
We must fight the Lord's good fight and cast the devil out for good. Many want to try the witch, aye, and many want to see her dead.
Think you could take on a ghost?
Get back up.
I have to do this myself.
I have another in sight.
Those things came from the ooze. They're like those oriental shapeshifters we fought in Bremen.
Obake liquefy. And this is something else. The ooze reacted to our presence. The Gibbs were so angry. Pure entitled bigotry.
Maybe they were affected by the ooze. I mean, we've been snapping at each other since we got here. Something's toying with us.
I think they made the ooze. I don't think the ooze made them. We can't leave yet. We should search this place more thoroughly.
This is it. This is the source. Where do we get to it?
You have turned your back from love, looked away when most needed. Guilty.
A safe harbor, should we need a moment's peace. Something tells me this is the condemned well. Do you think you could get that bucket down? The bucket is tainted. A ghost left a fragment of their past here. An echo from the past drifts by.
The door still breathes to her mouth. We are cursed, and you are stolen.
Clemency, Antipas, please. The woman has been jailed. As per custom, she will face trial and justice will be brought to this community.
Coming from a magic user himself. But can you or your demonologist discernment really be trusted?
Dare you insinuate such blasphemy? I'm a man of faith.
Do what God commands of you. Governor, we ask for safety. If we do not get it, there will be consequences.
The governor used Urim and Thummim, and that made his flock suspicious.
Divination stones. He must have thrown them down the well when he sealed it. Why now?
He's afraid. The Earth took the Gibbs house. Perhaps he thought he was a target too. The Gibbs had a hand in rigging the witch trial, but he was the one who sealed it.
That echo proves that things were getting out of hand. For his son's safety and his own, Haskell must have feared the suspicious mob. This can't be good.
Who are you?
Confess! Let them speak. If we speak, so you listen? Impudence! Provocation! Read the charges!
Let rule in the grave. You have blood on your hands and weakness in your heart. Guilty!
Sworn to vanquish evil. You conspired with witches.
Sworn to banish all ghosts. Instead, you embrace one.
The charges. Cowardice, oath-breaking, deception. The verdict. Guilty. The sentence. Pain hereafter.
I only seek the truth.
Bloody hell. Is that me?
Let me end this.
What the
It's working. Keep at it.
That shadow's got its strength back.
Don't let the ooze get back to its shadow.
I forgave myself a long time ago. You can't have this wound. Bloody hell, that stings. Your strikes are not helping. Let me.
Wasn't expecting to fight myself today.
Так а чё он ничего не делает, блин?
I never wanted this. I hate the very thing I become.
Antea died to help New Eden, and still we fight this curse.
What more do you want from us?
Standing by.
Bloody shadow.
stings.
Her name is Deborah. This is going to vex me.
Judgment. The guilty are known. Now justice is ours.
Enough. Can we please get out of here? That was awful. This trial. It was as if Deborah wanted us to face what she had faced. But all I feel is beaten.
I feel judged. Like I'll never be understood again. Justice miscarried here.
Of course. That's it. I know what that was. Such spectre of injustice has a name. The mythical infamy. I've only read about them. They're so rare. Most... think them a myth.
Haskell's cowardice is to blame. To save his own arse, he condemned a woman he knew to be innocent.
And so a terrible ghost was born, and sickness piled on sickness. Haskell has so much to answer for.
What is lurking here?
Time to work, Banisher.
Seems to be stuck. Still impressive. That down there, I was tense. I was impatient.
Me too. That infamy really got to us.
Years of anger coursed through me. But now I can't even remember why.
Me neither. This is what an infamy does. It's over now. We're here.
I said something to hurt you. I'm sorry.
I forgive you. And I hope that you forgive me too.
How refreshing it is to the soul to be at once thus delivered of that which was so much its trouble. There is nothing that keeps wicked men at any one moment out of hell One thing above all else, my friends, is true. The wicked are at odds with themselves.
Oh, good. His latest sermon. We haven't missed it.
The Lord's promise of salvation from hell pleases them. The Lord's salvation from misery and sin here on earth does not.
This doesn't look like salvation from misery and sin.
The wicked pray for deliverance from the fires of hell, while piling the kindling high. They proclaim their love for their Lord, yet, in His name, they serve themselves. Their self-regard crumbles in the light of their hateful iniquities.
So true.
Mr. McCraith, my friend, I'm so glad you agree. Now, the wicked man never questions...
I have your answers.
What? Yes, good. Perhaps we should discuss this privately, if you'll give me just a moment.
It's quite the story. You might not wish to hear it. Neither may the good people hear.
Please, this is not the time.
We want to hear the story. Let the Banishers speak.
Tell them, Red. Tell them good.
Aye. There's a story that starts with a question. A question for you, Governor. And maybe for all the good people of New Eden. If I give you a witch, will you do what you did to Deborah Comenius?
Comenius, say you? The school teacher walked with the devil and paid the appropriate price. That's the beginning of the history and also its end.
Is it, though? Now, I've learned much about Deborah Comenius and what happened to her, and it tells a very different tale.
And what story, pray you, does it tell?
It tells the story of a man, a latter-day King Solomon. When plague struck his subjects, they turned to him for guidance and protection, for they were God-fearing folk, and he was a godly king. The king turned his flock to God, but it was not enough. The plague spread on. The king, worried about his position, needed a sacrificial lamb.
You lose the run of your tongue, Mr. McCraith, and of the head to which it's fixed. There was no lamb. There was a trial, fair and lawful.
You're a pompous coward, fearful of anyone different, as human as that is.
There must be a man to judge, or there is no order. A man to make the judgment, and a man to enforce it. Of all people, you know this.
I live and let live. I choose only for the dead.
I choose for the living. These people are sinners, sir, and must be led back to the light. This is my mandate, my duty.
Admit it. You toy with magic you don't understand.
You, sir, are jealous.
I, sir, am tired. I've done my job, fulfilled my contract. I've found the source of the curse. The poison below the well is no more. No thanks to you.
Aha! Poison it was, then. The weapon of the wicked, to weaken the people's will. What was it? Belladonna, hemlock, foxglove?
Betrayal. Truth unspoken. Secrets and lies. Wrongs, basically. Your wrongs. The wrongs you visited upon Deborah Comenius. The wrongs that led to her death.
She died at the hand of the body politic. She died at all our hands. Most of all, she died at her own.
She died because she would not submit.
'Twas not my plan to kill her. stupid, stubborn woman! Why did she not confess? I would have granted clemency. I would have shown her mercy.
Даже не знаю, что выбрать. Мне нужно, чтобы вознести Антею. Типа пощадить его. Хотя он козел. Ну фиг его, ну давайте так сделаем.
You say your flock forced your hand. For the greater good, you say, you indulge their bloodlust. I believe you did it. I don't believe your motive. You delighted in your magical witch hunt, your trivial rituals. You thought you'd be lauded for your humility and skill. But you have neither. Now all around you crumbles. Yet still you state your claim as the rightful protector of the people of New Eden. I have found the culprit, the devil worshipper, the source of the evil that has befallen your community. Sorry, son.
You're having a laugh.
Can't be. That don't. My son, a witch? You mock us, sir. Present proof or retract your ridiculous accusation.
Now you need proof. For years, Lammy studied your precious library of the forbidden, but he outdid his father. He learned. 'Twas Lammy who taught Caleb Watson the dark ritual that brought his beloved wife back from the dead.
I was trying to help. I did nothing wrong.
No, Lord have mercy!
For shame.
The boy was always strange.
No. No, Lammy is a good boy. I won't have it.
Easy, Governor. Your son's intentions were sound, and his mistakes, grave as they were, did not poison the well.
Forgive me for swearing in the meeting house, but this is a blooming farce.
Have I ever failed you? In evil times, have we not endured? Have I not protected you?
Fooled by his own flesh. How could he be so blind?
Have faith. The Banisher has lifted the curse. Brighter days are here. I knew you were trouble. You and your lady. Look what you've done.
Don't push your luck, Haskell. I've given you a shot at redemption. It's more than you gave Deborah.
Damn you, Banisher. Paid in consideration of a curse lifted. All rights defended now and hereafter. I look forward to never seeing you again.
Don't count on it. The work's not done.
I hate this place. Rest up, then please, let's get out of here.
You're angry. Can tell.
Of course you can. Aren't you angry?
I'm more disgusted. This region is doomed. I know it in my bones.
There's no shortage of suffering around here.
Askell saw to that when he ordered Deborah's execution. I know that we're together, and it makes us strong, but I'm still wary.
I suffer, and somebody in New Eden is to blame.
Aye. Or everybody.
The closer we get to my body, to the truth about what happened here, the stronger I feel. My senses rise. It's as if I can taste the silence, smell the scent of wood smoke, feel the warmth of your body, feel Deborah's wrath. I feel it as if it were a part of me. I understand her anger. I feel her rage and can't help but relate to it. But that anger of mine, that fear, I thought when I left home, I'd left them behind.
You thought by becoming a Banisher, you'd overcome your anger and fear.
I thought at least I'd gain control. I'm a big bad Banisher. I fear no ghost. But this whole ordeal has shaken me to the core. So much so that the sister I thought was gone for good seems to be winding her way back to me.
Your sister, Iomide, wasn't it?
No. As a child, before I left Cuba, I had a friend. I chose to call her my sister. That night, the night I died, I dreamed of her. I dreamed of Calendre.
Did you go looking for her? Was she near him? It's not beyond the realm of possibility.
It's so far beyond the realm of possibility you wouldn't believe it. No, she wasn't there. But I heard her voice. I'd swear on it. How could that be?
Dreams can be vivid. Can be difficult to separate them from reality.
I was awake, Red.
What did you hear her say?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think she said we were family. Never to be divided.
She's after my job. She can't have it. I'm your family now. Nothing's tearing us apart.
Death has already torn us apart.
I hate this is where we are. I hate that I'll have to say goodbye. But for now, I'll do everything in my power to catch you.
This is how we win. Thank you for being the kindest soul I've ever met.
Thank you for being the bravest.
Ceridian?
What do you mean, Ceridian?
Ceridian, what's wrong? I don't think she can hear us. We need to go back to the swamps.
You understand that? But it's a bird.
It's Ceridian, by way of the invisible, speaking through the crow.
Pity it doesn't work both ways. Imagine having a conversation with someone far away.
Ну что, ребят, давайте заканчивать. Увидимся уже с вами в следующей серии. Всем хорошего настроения, всем пока-пока.